Alright guys, so doing a video on my QX56. Started developing a steering rack bushing issue. So what happened is, on this vehicle, it's a prone issue. It's a very common issue on these Nissan Armadas and QX56 and Nissan Titans. So what happened is, the rack and pinion bushings, they start to break down and get loose, and then the rack itself starts to move on its own as you're driving. So what I noticed is, after I got the heavier tires and I started doing a little bit of off-roading here and there, I started developing this wander on the freeway. So if your truck starts to go all over the road, even though you keep your steering wheel straight and you're constantly fighting the wheel back and forth to keep it in its lane, this is most likely the issue. Very common with these platforms, something you might want to replace right before you do anything else on these trucks, just for safety reasons. So here's a video of the bushings I got. These are urethane bushings I got off of Amazon. There's a lot of different products out there for it. You know, I'm cheap, so I kind of went with the cheapest one I found on Amazon, and we'll see if it fits. We'll see if it works. The next video I do will be the instructions and a full write-up on how to do it. Someone inside moving the steering wheel as I'm videoing underneath. You can see where the rack is moving across, even though it's mounted stiffly with the bushing. So if your rack does this, or if your truck does this, here's a couple things you can do. Go online, look for these urethane bushings, or replace it with the OEMs. See how it goes on the freeway, and you can see me constantly fighting the wheel back and forth. And you can see my RPMs, it's pretty jacked up, very common. That needle has to be removed and re-glued back in. It's just pretty much floating on the motor. So wherever it sits is where it sits, and as the motor spins as you're driving, sometimes it'll grab. I'm barely getting onto the on-ramp and I'm already at 5,000 RPM, which is incorrect. That needle is jacked. So here I am getting on the freeway. Now let's see the steering wheel. You keep an eye on the steering wheel on the road here. Freeway. Alright, so here we go. You're going to feel this a lot more at high speeds. It'll definitely wander all over the place. But you can see my steering wheel, I got to go back and forth just to keep it straight, because that rack is constantly moving left to right. And in turn, it's, well, of course, turning the front wheels. Now just off this video, I'm pretty sure a lot of you would think it's just an alignment issue. The truck's already been realigned twice in 3 months. And you can see right there, I had to really fight that because I was coming up on a bump and it wanted to toss me into the left lane. Get up to speed a little bit. Now I think because of the bad bushings on the rack and pinion that's causing the wheel to vibrate like it's like the tires are out of balance. I actually had the tires rebalanced twice already in the month just to make sure. So if you look at the steering wheel, it's shaking quite a bit, and it looks like the wheels are out of balance, but turns out that's not the case, and this may be a result of the bad rack and pinion bushings. So if your first or second gen Armadas, QX56 or Nissan Titan feels really loose on the freeway, looks like there's a lot of bump steer, or it just wanders like you're driving a big truck or an RV, take a look at your rack and pinion. Have someone turn the steering wheel as you stare at that rack and pinion. If the rack is moving, it's time for new bushings. All right, thanks for watching.